All right, guys, it's confession time. As a coach and industry insider, I'm going to be sharing some of the behind the scenes stuff that you guys may not be aware of. I'm also going to share some hard truths about why so many bros struggle to lose weight, get lean, stay lean, and build muscle. I'm also going to share some of my own personal confessions. We're going to do this vlog style, so I'm going to share every meal I eat for the day, hopefully footage from my training, my overall active lifestyle, and some deep thoughts. Hope you enjoy this footage. Let's get to it. It's Saturday morning, and although it's the weekend, I do like to keep a lot of my routine and structure in place. It's one of the keys to my success in being able to get lean, stay lean, and thrive in all aspects of my life. So start my day as always, waking up around 5:30 a.m. No alarm clock needed. That is my natural wake time. Pour myself 2 cups of coffee, a little bit of unsweetened vanilla cashew milk in there. Dive right into my team work. Did a little client check-in, some client programming. Caught a gorgeous sunrise. We just had the spring equinox, so during the winter months I don't get to catch the sunrise and sunset. It's just out of my view there, but at this point I get to see them both, so hopefully we'll catch a great sunset later on today. And now it's time for my breakfast shake. I have this each and every day. 1 cup of homemade kefir, 1 cup of unsweetened vanilla cashew milk, a scoop of protein powder, an ass load of spinach, a banana. I have my supplements along with this, some vitamins and minerals. Now for our confession number 1 is that for us personal trainers and coaches, we are not superhuman. We face a lot of the same challenges, obstacles, and setbacks as our fellow bros. And it's learning from those experiences and growing from them that makes us great coaches. I think we learn so much more from those experiences than we ever do from textbooks and courses that we take. You would be surprised at how many of the best coaches out there, their lives are a hot mess, or were a hot mess at one point. Just for some of them, they choose not to share it. And there's nothing right or wrong about that. I would love to hear your thoughts if you don't care if anyone shares their personal private lives with you, or you really do enjoy coaches like myself and some others who allow ourselves to be vulnerable and share our experiences with us, share how we're overcoming those obstacles and challenges. It's one of my favorite ways to coach clients or just people in general, is just to share my experience. I think it helps me grow from the experience. It actually helps me overcome the challenges and setbacks when I share what I'm going through. So it's a win-win situation, I feel, overall. When I shared publicly that entire 8-month process of losing that 50 pounds of fat, it was an incredible form of accountability for myself, but it was also a great teaching tool for those who were following my journey. They used it as a source of inspiration and education in their own personal journey. And it really made me a better coach. Gaining that 50 pounds of fat and having to go through that challenge of learning it, I could relate so much more to my clients. And it also opened my eyes, especially when I posted the first before photo after I had lost 10 pounds of fat. That's when I first shared a shirtless picture there. And hearing from a lot of guys are like, your before photo is my goal. Like, that's what I want to look like. It really opened my eyes that a lot of guys out there, they don't want to be really lean. They don't care about having 6-pack abs. They just want to look good, feel confident, and be healthy. So really eye-opening experience for me there in that regards. But there's also like a lot of insecurities that you see out there, especially among other coaches and personal trainers. Like, we have to have this higher standard for ourselves. Like, we've got to be crazy shredded 365 days a year, because you see a lot of like what you see on social media. It seems like a lot of the guys out there are freaking shredded all the time. And that's kind of like this new standard out there, but you have no idea what their lives are like, how much they're struggling to maintain that, what toll it's taking on them mentally and physically. So again, this really where I would love to see a lot more transparency in that regards, because it sent some guys down a very dark path. We've lost some coaches to eating disorders because they were trying to live up to this standard and had a very poor body image of themselves. And the opposite end of the spectrum there, you see a lot of guys who have insecurities about not being big enough in this industry. I'm very fortunate. Like, I shared some of my insecurities when I gained that 50 pounds of fat. I'd be at the beach with my tank top on. I would you'd never see me with my shirt off when I was carrying around the excess fat there. I was insecure with how I looked. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I didn't have confidence. I just didn't feel great overall. But I'm very fortunate that although I'm a smaller guy, I'm about 150 pounds right now. When I was 13 years old, 100 pounds, and 19 years old, 123 pounds after like 6 years of hard lifting under my belt. It took a lot of work to get there, but I never felt small. I never felt kind of inferior, even though I was around a lot of bigger guys. But you see the impact that it can have on others. And I did receive comments at times. I remember at high school prom, I think the one reason why I didn't feel insecure about being small is that the girls always kind of paid attention to me as soon as I started lifting weights, like making comments about my arms and how I look. So I felt pretty good about that. And then I remember at prom, being at the prom party, and my girlfriend at the time introduced me to one of her friends, and he looked at me, he's like, I thought you said your boyfriend was big and muscular. So she was bragging about me, thinking I did, but for some of these other bigger guys, they just didn't see me as being big and muscular. Like, oh, wow, like I was always thought I look pretty damn good. I think I look really great right now at 150 pounds, but there's definitely perceptions out there in our industry that you've got to be 200 pounds. See, reading articles from other coaches out there saying if you don't weigh 100 pounds, 200 pounds, you're not a man kind of thing. And I always get comments on my YouTube videos like, how can you talk about building muscle when you only weigh 150 pounds? So there's a lot of negativity in our industry and a lot of these expectations and standards that you have to be big and strong. And that's led some coaches, again, down a dark path. Again, we've seen some coaches lose their lives because they've been taking performance-enhancing drugs that are just not healthy for them. In order to kind of live up to this standard. We just saw this past week, I saw from a fellow, like a muscle building coach out there who mentioned, like, finally came out and said, like, 10 years ago, I was insecure. I felt like I was a fraud talking about building muscle, and I wasn't really that big of a guy. So he turned to TRT, which is nowadays, I mean, it was maybe taboo back then. Nowadays, it's more acceptable out there. And he's like, yeah, kind of, and then while he took TRT and he's talking about building muscle and how it's the programming and the nutrition and all that stuff, he's like, man, I kind of realized like I was a bit of a fraud during that time. I wasn't being open and transparent with how I was actually building muscle. So that's definitely an area where I'd love to see more transparency in our industry. It's a personal choice. If you want to go on TRT, for a lot of guys, it's not because they want to build muscle. It's for their mental health, their physical health, and just feeling their best overall. Like, share that experience with others. So much we can learn. Like, I'm not on TRT. I'm a lifetime natural in every aspect possible there. But if I ever get to that point, like, it'd be nice to know, like, why some guys, I've had some great conversations with some fellow coaches recently about why they went on TRT and how it impacted them, like how they were feeling in the dumps. Like, they're really, what is wrong with me? They go on TRT, like, holy smokes, I feel like $1,000,000. And like, even for some of these guys on TRT, like their testosterone levels are up around 1,000. They're not packing on tons of muscle. So just because you're on TRT doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be big, huge, and muscular. Some guys, they blow up. They do. It has a positive impact on them. But I would love to learn more from other people's experiences. So I really wish there was. We're starting to see a little bit more transparency, but I really wish some other coaches would become more open with it, because it seems to be like the coaches who are critical of me talking about building muscle when I only weigh 150 pounds, they themselves have been on performance-enhancing drugs. They themselves are on TRT, and they don't tell anybody about it. So everyone that is following them and is seeing them, looking up to them, going, oh my God, I want to look like this coach. I want to know, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, well, follow my programming and nutrition. Like, oh, forget about all the other stuff I'm on there right now. Like, they don't know any of that stuff. So I'd really love to see more transparency in that regards. Enough of that rambling. I'm going to enjoy this breakfast shake, get out for my walk with Chief, and then get on to more confessions. Just look at these gorgeous free-range eggs from my friend's local farm, all different colors in there. I'm about to make my pre-workout meal. I have this just about each and every day. I'm going to be using 4 of these eggs to make an omelet. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheddar cheese on top today. I don't always do that. On the side, I'll have some mixed veggies, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, and ground black pepper sprinkled on top. In the bowl, I have 2/3 cup of oats. I usually put 140 grams of frozen mixed berries in there, but I grabbed some homemade fresh peach jam from my friend's farm as well. So I'm going to treat myself today like I did for the past 3 days here. It's just about gone right now. So I'll use about 2 tablespoons of that and sprinkle some cinnamon on top there. It is absolutely freaking delicious. So really looking forward to diving into that. Now it is confession time. Really a hard truth, a tough pill to swallow for some of my fellow bros when it comes to what's holding them back from achieving their goal of getting lean, staying lean, and building upon their body. And that is that they're just not honest with themselves. They're not taking personal responsibility. It's probably the biggest reason why those ads and the hyped up marketing that's so effective is the messaging that it's not your fault, that the diet industry is somehow trying to keep you fat, that diets are designed to make you fail so you keep purchasing more and more from them. Now, when it comes to being honest with yourself, I really reflect back on to the times when I was coaching people in person, and there were two brothers that I was training. I'll never forget this. Like, share their food journals with me all the time, and there's one guy was struggling to lose weight. I'm like, man, like looking at your food journal, you're doing all of the right things. I'm not really sure where I'd want to cut back on here. Like, you're really doing well. You're eating healthy, and it seems to be all the right portion sizes. And his brother chimed in. He's like, well, dude, like, didn't you have like a burger yesterday? It's not on here. And he's like, gets all embarrassed. Like, I didn't want to share that with you. I was embarrassed that I caved into the pressure there. I didn't want you to know I caved in. I was just going to try and make up for it after. I'm like, no, like, you're not fooling me. Like, be honest with me so I can help guide you and make the appropriate changes, but be honest with yourself more than anything. And then his brother's like, well, looking at the other day, and he's like, well, don't you remember, like, while we were making dinner, you were snacking on these other little things here, and all those little things can add up. So you really make sure that if you're going to track everything and really be honest with yourself. Don't say, well, I'm hitting my calories, I'm eating healthy, how come I'm not losing weight? Well, start looking at all those things that you're not really tracking. You're not being honest with yourself of what you're actually consuming, and that could be the reason why it is holding you back. And then when it comes to personal responsibility as well, I think this is a huge thing, because we are faced with so many temptations. It's very easy to blame it on like friends and family who always seem to sabotage us. Like, every time we're doing well with their diet, and then our friends are like, what do you do? What do you mean you're not going to have pizza with us? Kind of have another beer, live a little. You only live once. Come on, have some fun here. You can make up for it tomorrow and all that stuff. And like, that can be holding you back, or thinking that your lifestyle, you're so busy, you're working so much, you're taking your kids to sports and everything, you have no time to work out or meal prep or anything like that. Like, that's the reason that's holding you back. Yes, life can be challenging. Life can be hard. We are all faced with all these temptations, but it's a matter of what you do, like how you handle those situations. You may not be able to control the temptations that you're faced with, but you can control how you respond and react in those situations. I have clients who are working 2 jobs. They have kids, girlfriends, boyfriends, spouses. They are living busy lives, yet they find ways to fit their training to their lifestyle. They don't try to take on too much. They don't want their training to be an added stress. They want it to be a stress relief, and program it into their lifestyle that's going to suit them best. And when they are faced with temptations, they have plans of action, how they're going to handle those situations. They are prepared ahead of time. It doesn't always work. Like, sometimes they will cave into that, but they learn from those experiences. They take personal responsibility. It's not like, man, how come these people always seem to sabotage me? Like, all right, next time I'm in a situation where people are tempting me, how can I handle that better so I can come out of it ahead and still live my life to the fullest, enjoy my life to the fullest? So taking that personal responsibility for your actions, being honest with yourself about what's really holding you back, is going to go a long way in your success. So I'm going to enjoy this pre-workout meal and then take it to the gym, hopefully get some footage for you. Damn, did I ever crush that hamstring workout. Felt absolutely phenomenal. I kicked things off with the lying leg curl. Really great way, I find, to get my hamstrings warmed up, focused, got a great pump on, then moved on to the barbell Romanian deadlift, where first set I did 10 repetitions with 275 pounds. I'd say I left about maybe 3 reps in reserve there. Then I had a guy and a girl training next to me. They were squatting. The guy did 405 pounds for 8 repetitions, making it look effortless. Then he strips off just 1 plate aside for his girlfriend, so 315 pounds. She hammers out like 12 repetitions with ease. Like, what the hell? Time for me to step up my game there. So I added 10 pounds each side, so 295 pounds. Hit 10 repetitions. I'd say I left 1 rep in reserve there. So felt incredible. Did some inner thighs, some hip flexion exercises, some hip thrusts. So felt just a freaking awesome workout, doing some calves there. One of the things, so confession time, one of the things that I see holding guys back is looking for the best workout program. There is no the best program. I got a lot of kick-ass programs, but they're only going to work for a certain duration of time. Always it's going to be a program that is personalized to you, your lifestyle, your goals, what suits you best is always going to be the best. But there's a lot of great workout programs out there that will work for you. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. But the problem I see that is holding a lot of guys back out there is that they are in search of this best workout program. Because of that, they're always chasing these shiny objects out there. They're always program hopping without fully committing to the program that they are currently on. They'll follow it for a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks, like, man, I'm not making these massive gains. These guys are promising like 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle in 30 days. How come I'm not getting that? I better look for the next best workout program. That's just setting yourself up for a lot of frustration and just a lack of progress in general. So do your best not to program hop, to stay the course with it. Just give the best effort. That's it. The guy who's squatting next to me, his shirt said, do the damn work. That is really what it is all about. Fully commit to the plan, give it the best of your effort and to the best of your abilities, and just rock it from there. So another confession, I've got my 260 grams of Greek yogurt in here, 140 grams of frozen mixed berries. So one of the lessons I learned, I'm about to go get some groceries and I got to go buy some protein powder. I cannot go to a grocery store hungry. It's always a disaster when I do it. So made sure I was prepared today. But one of my confessions is that I've been talking about how, like, one of the things that keeps me lean, getting lean, staying lean, making it effortless for me, mindless for me, is that I eat very structured. Like, these are the first 3 meals that I usually eat most of the time. But I've been talking about how I want to get a little bit more variety in my nutrition, and I've just been lazy, to be honest with you guys. Like, I've just not been looking up recipes, and like whenever I think of preparing a different meal, I'm just busy. I'm busy like you guys. I got a lot going on. So it's just easy for me to go to default mode, the tried and true, but at least it's quality, high nutrient content meals that I'm consuming, rather than default mode being like going to get some fast food or anything like that. So I'm going to dive into this, go do some shopping, and then more confessions after that. I celebrated Easter on Good Friday with my kids. We went over to my parents' house, had dinner. My mom sent me home with some leftovers, so I'm going to be diving into that for dinner this evening. We went for a priceless walk through the woods, checked in on the owlets. They are growing way too fast, starting to change colors and everything, looking a little bit more like adults. I'm going to be heading back to my parents tomorrow to enjoy another Easter dinner with my sister and her family. So I'm going to be getting in a lot of like quality foods, lean proteins with the turkey, potatoes, can't go wrong with that. Stuffing, man, my mom makes a killer stuffing. Corn, a lot of people say no nutrients in there, but you know what? I have it just a few times a year. I'm not going to complain about it. I look forward to diving into this meal. So I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to get out for a walk with Chief, and we're going to have a bonfire out there and hope to catch that sunset. Just got the fire started and the sun will be setting. I'd say about half an hour. I'll get some good footage from you guys coming up, and the fire will be kicking a lot more. Also enjoying a delicious craft beer by Bob Cajun, their Northern Lights. If you guys are familiar with the Tragically Hip, this is what it is all based upon. They're inspired by, I should say. So the last confession of the day is that, guys, I am no alpha male. You'll never see me trying to pretend to be some alpha male. I think you can be a great leader without being an alpha. I just see too many guys out there pretending to be alpha or wanting to be an alpha when it's just not in their nature. I am just true to myself. I encourage you to be raw, real, in tune with your inner nature. Do what comes naturally to you. Lead in your own way possible. Lead by example. I think that is the greatest way we can be leaders, to inspire others to be their best selves. This, again, is the kind of shit that sets my soul on fire. I love sitting, watching sunsets while I'm having a bonfire. I'm very philosophical, very spiritual, just very in tune with my surroundings, in tune with my thoughts, in tune with my feminine side, in tune with all this great stuff. It's the kind of stuff that I share with you guys. I have no hesitations to share that side of me. It is who I am. It's what makes me tick. It's what brings great joy to my life. It's about me living my life to the fullest. and just expressing myself the best way I possibly can. So that is my last confession of the day. I'm going to enjoy this bonfire here, enjoy the sunset, enjoy this delicious craft beer. Hope you enjoyed this footage. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. More than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback, share any confessions that you may have. Which one of these confessions resonated with you? Would love to hear from you. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.